All right, today we're diving into something pretty amazing. We're talking about how some seriously cutting-edge tech is completely shaking up one of the oldest professions in the world, farming. This is a full-on revolution in agriculture, and it's all being powered by AI. So, let's get into how it all works.
Okay, just think about this for a second. What if the future of farming could literally fit in your pocket? I mean, imagine having all the know-how of a top crop expert, the predictive power of a weather forecaster, and the smarts of a financial advisor, all right there on a farmer's phone instantly. That's the huge idea we're digging into.
So before we can really appreciate just how powerful this tech is, you've got to understand the problem it's built to solve. For millions and millions of farmers, especially in places like India, farming is, well, it's stuck in this really tough, repeating cycle of inefficiency and, honestly, just a ton of uncertainty.
Yeah, for so many of these farmers, every single season is a gamble, a really high-stakes gamble. They're betting against the weather, against pests, against unpredictable prices. It's this constant battle where it feels like the odds are just stacked against you from the start.
So this gamble, it really boils down to four huge problems. First up, disease detection. If you spot a disease too late, it can just wipe out a huge chunk of your harvest. It's devastating. Then you've got rising costs. Farmers might be using too much fertilizer or the wrong pesticides, and that just drives up their expenses without actually helping the crops. Third, the advice they get is, well, it's generic. It doesn't account for their specific farm, their soil, their weather. And finally, there's no regional visibility. They're basically flying blind, with no clue that a major disease outbreak could be happening just down the road.
Okay, so that's the cycle they're trapped in. And that is exactly where technology comes in to break it. So let's introduce the solution here. AgroNavis.
So what is AgroNavis? Well, at its heart, it's an AI-powered platform that's really designed to be a farmer's best friend, their most trusted advisor. Its whole mission is to go after those big problems we just talked about, helping them spot diseases way earlier, slash their costs by cutting down on waste, and of course, helping them maximize their yield from every single acre.
Now, here is the absolute key difference, and you gotta get this. A lot of other apps out there, they just give you information. You know, a weather forecast, maybe an article about some pest, that's fine. But AgroNavis provides decisions. It doesn't just give you data, it tells you what to do with that data. And that right there, that changes everything.
So, how does it do that? Well, it all starts with what might be its most impressive feature, AI-powered diagnosis. This is where you can really see the magic happen.
And this feature is a direct hit on that huge problem we mentioned, late disease detection. Being able to spot a disease right at the beginning. I mean, that can literally be the difference between making a profit for the season or facing a total loss. It's a game changer.
And the way it works is just so simple, it's brilliant. Okay, so a farmer's out in the field. They see a weird spot on a leaf. What do? They just pull out their phone, snap a picture, and boom, instantly the AI gets to work. It analyzes that photo, figures out exactly what the disease is, how bad it is, and then gives a clear, simple recommendation on how to treat it. All of that complex AI just boiled down to a snap and a tap. But spotting the problem is really only half the battle, right? Knowing what to do next is just as crucial. And that brings us to the platform's flagship feature, the AI agronomist. Now, if you're not familiar, an agronomist is basically a crop doctor, an expert on soil, plants, the whole shebang. And this app, it puts one of those experts right in the farmer's pocket.
And we're not just talking about a feature you check once in a while. This is like a constant companion. It's an expert that's on call 24/7, always ready with personalized advice exactly when the farmer needs it most.
And check this out. This is the kind of advice it gives. It's not generic stuff. The AI knows, okay, you've got a tomato crop and it's in the flowering stage. Then it looks at the weather forecast and sees humidity is going to rise in a few days. So it connects the dots, high risk of late blight. And then it tells you exactly what to do. Action, spray this. And here's the kicker. It gives you the estimated cost, and even better, how much money you'll save by doing it. We're talking specifics.
This right here, this is what we mean by ROI-based decisions. This focus on the money, the financial outcome, is absolutely central to the whole platform. Every single piece of advice is framed in terms of return on investment. It's not just, hey, do this. It's, hey, do this, and here's why it's a smart financial move.
And this really is a huge shift in how things are done. AgroNavis takes all this complicated agronomy and turns it into simple, clear financials. It takes abstract advice, your crops will be healthier, and turns it into something you can actually measure, a tangible ROI. It's about moving away from just theory and giving farmers the confidence to make a solid business decision.
There's a really powerful quote that gets to the heart of why this matters so much. Farmers trust money, not theory. It's as simple as that. If you really want to earn a farmer's trust and get them to use new technology, you have to speak their language. And that language is all about cost, profit, and financial security.
Okay, so far we've been talking about how this helps one single farmer. But let's zoom out for a second, because the vision here is so much bigger. What if the data from one farmer could actually help protect their entire community?
This is where you get this incredible network effect. See, every single time a farmer uploads a photo of a sick plant, that data point, it's all anonymous of course, gets added to a big regional map. And what you end up with is a live, real-time heat map that shows exactly where diseases are appearing and how they're spreading.
I mean, the power of this is just immense. Imagine being a farmer and being able to literally see a disease hotspot forming nearby. You'd get an alert on your phone if an outbreak is confirmed in the next village over. This lets the whole community flip the script. They can go from just reacting to damage to taking action to prevent it in the first place. It's amazing. Every person who uses the app makes the whole system smarter and safer for everybody else.
Now, of course, for any of this cool tech to actually make a difference, it has to work in the real world, right? A fancy app is totally useless if you don't have an internet connection. And the team behind AgroNavis, they clearly built it with that exact reality in mind.
So, what does that mean? Well, for starters, it has super local weather alerts for things that really matter, like a sudden frost or a huge downpour. But the most crucial part is that it's designed to be offline first. This means a farmer can be way out in the fields with no signal at all and still use the main features of the app. Then, the next time their phone gets a connection, it just syncs up all the data automatically. That's not just smart, it's thoughtful, practical design.
So, we've looked at the problem, we've looked at the tech, but what's the bottom line here? What does all of this really mean for the actual farmer who downloads this app and puts this tool in their pocket?
Well, the impact is really clear and you can actually measure it. First, by catching diseases early and using their resources smarter, farmers get better yields. Simple as that. Second, because they're not wasting money on pesticides and fertilizers they don't need, their costs go down. And third, and maybe this is the most important part, by having this expert in their corner, they become more confident, more proactive. They're truly empowered as business owners.
And in the end, it really all comes back to that one powerful idea we started with, AgroNavis, your pocket farming expert. Technology isn't just changing an industry here, it's empowering the people at the heart of it, one smart decision at a time. And that is what the future of farming looks like.